Hello and welcome to Unity of Las Vegas. My name is Jim Lee and I'm so glad that you're joining us, especially now. This is the last Sunday just before Christmas. Can you tell? It's Christmas time. Got my little Christmas vest on, I got my Christmas socks on, and I'm ready. Now the thing of it is, are you ready? Well, we have a very special service for you today as this concludes Advent, and we're talking about the emergent Christ along with Santa Claus in this wonderful, magical time. But before we get into all of that, let's just take a moment, and I'm going to give you the order of service so that we can get ready for something special. We've got Randy who will be doing the Daily Word. We'll start off with, then a song by John Jones. I'll be doing the talk, and it is called The Advent Message, the Emergent Christ, and then Lisa will wrap it up. A meditation that is designed to anchor and center us in this Christ presence.
Hello, everybody. Here's the daily word for Sunday, December 20th. Joy. Joy dawns in my grateful heart. Joy to the world! The carol echoes, the joyous message proclaiming the Messiah's birth. Today I feel this same triumphant joy awakening in me. I may have endured a long and cumbersome journey on the way to discover the joy that is alive in me, the truth of me as a spiritual being. I may have spent years denying my spiritual identity, thinking that fulfillment, wholeness, and abundance were for others, not for me. Now, as I've made the Advent journey, I have kindled my faith, felt the tranquility and comfort of peace, and received the soothing touch of deep and abiding love. Those gifts have led me to understand with deep gratitude that joy is mine to know, to feel, and to live. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all of the people." Luke chapter 2, verse 10. Have a great day.
Thank you, Randy. I've always loved that carol, Joy to the World. And the verse from Luke is one of my favorites as well. Good news of great joy indeed. Well, friends, here it is, the last week of Advent and just a few days before Christmas. I'm grateful to be with you this morning, and I want you all to know that even though our services are very different these days, we still love being close to you guys, and we're glad to have you with us as our Unity of Las Vegas family. So hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and share us with your friends and families. Now, you've probably been wondering what our Christmas Eve celebration might look like this year. I can tell you that it's going to be a wonderful program with lots of music from some of our favorite artists. Rochelle and Abigail Compst will be with us, as will Michelle Roll, Jillian Austin, and Adeline Wells. To go along with today's message, and since we're so close to Christmas, I thought it would be fun to do a beloved carol for our song today and give you a sample of our Christmas Eve program. You guys can sing along. Let's proclaim the good news of great joy. This is Angels We Have Heard on High. Have a blessed day, all, and we'll see you this Thursday evening.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria this day. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Hark, the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Thank you, John Jones. And so this is the last Sunday of Advent, just before Christmas. And so I just want to give you a brief recap. The first week we got into entering the void. And the void is this liminal place just before creation, just before we do something. There's this wonderful moment of infinite possibilities. The next phase is this. We are taking a look at just allowing the unique presence that's within us to come forward beyond the ego, beyond the thinking. There's something else that we are allowing. We're not making it happen. We're allowing it. And then the next phase was this cosmic, I would call it visioning. Just beyond the veil, something wonderful is there. And this week is living as wonder and magic. And so with all of that, I'm inviting us to TTP and let's trust this process so that we can have a fabulous Christmas time. Well, what is Christmas? All of us have what I would call a favorite memory, especially it probably was in our childhood. And I can remember, I was about 11 years old, altar boy, Catholic church, midnight mass, of course. Several of our friends, we were like walking home after church, and it was great. And we were just laughing and talking, and I looked up in the sky, and I saw a shooting star. We all looked up. And of course, you know what we said. Oh my goodness, we've got to get home. Santa Claus is on his way. We just knew it was Santa Claus. It was just a magical time. It was fantastic. And that particular Christmas, I got my red Swin bike, and I just knew that life was full of magic and wonder. And I thought, wow, this is going to continue on for the rest of my life. And it was like the universe was saying yes. Well, right now, it looks like the universe is saying no. Oh, no. With all the conditions and everything that we've got going on and the strife and the animosity and well, I can list. I'm not going to go through all of the laundry list of things that are off. And what I am saying, though, is in the midst of all of this is Christmas. So in the midst of all of this, it is time for magic and wonder. Just like it was years ago when I was a child, that same energy is here. Now, as I got older, I would say that life sort of suppressed that magical wonder time that I was experiencing, and it sort of like depleted it bit by bit, and it's time to put it back, not bit by bit, but really full-bodied. What I'm talking about is the time for us to experience the fullness of Christ. Jesus the Christ was born 2,000 years ago. That is an historical activity of the Jesus coming into a human form, and it was a magnificent. But also I just want you to know that Jesus the Christ, his last name wasn't the Christ. The Christ is the anointed one. That's in all of us as well. So we're talking about that being born in us. And as Jesus did these wonderful, miraculous things that cause people to be in awe and wonder, it is time for us to wake up ourselves and experience it, this awe and wonder, because he came here to teach us, to lead us, and to guide us, that we can do all the things that he did and even greater things that we can do. And it's time for us to birth that in us and allow that Christ consciousness, vibration to speak in through us. Now, this Christmas time, as I would say, is different for a lot of people. And then I would say that some people would say, I'm not feeling it. Don't have it. I'm going to be alone this Christmas, because this Christmas is also different than a lot of other Christmases we've had before because of the pandemic. And some people just aren't feeling it. Just want you to know, this is a magic time now. Magic is in the air. Now, this magic that I'm talking about is not producing illusions for entertainment by the sleight of the hand and by deceptive devices. That's not the magic that I'm talking about. I am talking about magic as being excitement, wonderful. It's like a magic moment after moment. Lisa has a great definition for magic, and I think I can quote it right. Magic is the elixir of the soul, liberating us from the limitations of our rational thinking and opening us through wonder to a world of goodness and love that's already available. I like that. That's magic. It's taking us out of our three-dimensional rational thinking, because that's what we need today more than ever, is to find this Christ presence, this consciousness, so that we can move beyond this limited thinking. Now, Charles Fillmore, one of his favorite quotes, and I like this, and it comes from Colossians, the 1st chapter, the 27th verse. And it says, "To whom God was pleased to make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory." Christ in you, the hope of glory. This is a time. This is a time of surprise and wonder, and it's a time that is absolutely creative for us. what is going on with all the conditions that is happening, it is calling forth the Christ consciousness to come forward. Something beautiful, something unexpected, something unexplainable is ready to birth itself through us because the world needs it. So right now, I just want to say thank you, God, for this moment. And I know this moment may not be pleasant for everyone. And if it is a moment of stress, of, I would say, angst, John, this is something that you can experience as well. This is a time for exhilaration. Now, I have a little, I would call it a step process that I wanted to take a look at. And it's a step process for magic and wonder. Step 1, stop and breathe in. And when you're feeling fear, lack, limitation, anxiety, and worry, I call it take a chill moment. Just chill out for a moment and breathe. Next thing, shift the focus away from the mind and the thinking and all of the things that can get caught up. And when you take a breath, relax, and imagine just breathing through the heart. Just allow the breath and use your power of imagination that you're using your breath. And then just take in and accept everything just the way that it is. Now, you don't have to like it, but since it is occurring, my advice to you is don't reject what is, just be with it and relax in it. And as you do with everything that's going on, affirm this. God's got this. Whatever it is, God got this. And then allow the Christ consciousness that's already within you to be awakened, to alive. And as you do, as you say, well, God's got this, there's a divine essence of who you are, because you are made in the image and likeness of the Almighty. You are one with the universe, and it's time that we allow this to occur, and this gives birth to the Christ consciousness. The next thing, be open and honor our relationship with magic and wonder, because it will happen as we move now in the slipstream of the flow, and we're going in. Then as we are going through this life with this flow, magic, wonder, things unheard of, unexplained can happen. That's what this time about. Then the last thing, have the courage to create. And to create, bring to this moment your heart. Bring to the moment your love. Allow that to become a co-creative moment with being present in your life. You're now bringing your love to it, and co-creativity happens, and it's magical moment. It is absolutely wonderful. And what we're doing is we're aligning ourselves with the divine plan. That's what the Christ consciousness does. And when we do this, sometimes it can feel like it can be difficult, but that's okay. That's okay. Breathe in and TTP, trust the process and allow it to happen. And Paul said in 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4, I am exceedingly joyful in all tribulations. So the Christ consciousness that we have in us is us, and there's nobody that can take it away from us. In fact, We don't even have the power to take the Christ consciousness from us. All we have to do is relax and trust it. This is who we are. I read a little story that talked about a fish that was taken out of the water, and it was put on the beach, and it started to really gasp for water, and its gills started to dry out, and you really know what it needs. And see, it's sitting there on the beach, and that fish doesn't need a bunch of money. Money is not what that fish needs. That fish doesn't need to have a Pepsi and put on shades and spread out on a nice chair. That's not what it needs. It doesn't need a bathing suit or anything like that. What that fish needs is to be put into the water. That's its birthright. It's supposed to be in the ocean. Now we're made in the image and likeness of the design of the divine, and we're made to be in this very moment bringing forth our Christ presence, because the darkness all around and the things that are going on is made for us. This is who we are. And the thing of it is, our lifeline is the Christ presence that will lift us up every single time. This is our time. We're made for this. Relax in your Christhood. That's who you are. It's Christmas, and it's time for magic and wonder. But also, I want you to know one other thing. It's not for just now. I'm inviting us to take this on into the 2021, and it is a recurring moment to bring forth the Christ presence in and through everything that goes forward. It's Christmas time. It's your time. It's the Christ consciousness time in you to come forward. Well, during this Christmas moment, I want us to really anchor it, and Lisa now will come forward and share with us a Christmas message and anchor us in this Christ consciousness.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, with hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. In this, our final week of Advent, we are joyfully exploring living as wonder and magic in our role as God portals. Some would say that Santa Claus, originating from other cultural traditions, has no place in the celebration of the birth of the Christ child. But I say, from a spiritual, metaphysical perspective, that this is no coincidence. At its core, the anticipation of beautiful gifts from an origin beyond logic and reason, suddenly appearing to us, is actually a key component in our Christ emergence. As a little girl, I had a dream that an angel came to me and said, "Always remember, you're magical." This sacred message through the years has been a gift that keeps giving, especially at times when my mind limits what's possible based on the past. Does your mind ever do that? Magic is the elixir of the soul, liberating us from the limitations of our rational thinking and opening us through wonder to a world of goodness and love that we cannot access through logic. The science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke says, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic." And I would say becoming conscious participants in our own Christ emergence is indeed an advanced technology. It is an expectant openness in our hearts to divine serendipity, to unimagined delight and sudden bursts of childlike giddiness. For magic is on the living edge of creation. Today's meditation is inspired by the work of Jeff Carrera, whose teachings support us in living as wonder and magic by shifting our perception of self. The Christmas tree is glistening and the stockings are on the mantle. Let's enter this world of magical expectancy together. So I invite you now to find a comfortable place to sit and begin to focus on your breath, taking gentle breaths in and out. And just imagine your breath as consciousness itself. And allow the breath to bring awareness and consciousness to all parts of your being. Sense the aliveness flowing into your being. Sense this awakening with this inflow of energy through the breath. Breathing slows us down. Our muscles loosen. Our awareness softens and expands. Release any desire to control your experience and relax into whatever is present. Let go of engagement with experience and allow yourself to fully arrive here in this moment. Notice the assumption of reality that you are sitting inside of. What are you assuming to be real right now? What do you think is really happening? We assume we are a person who is meditating. Notice how, as you sit, you feel your body, your chair, your hands on your knees, neck, and head. You experience seeing blackness behind your eyelids, hearing the sounds that touch your ears. You feel like a person sitting in meditation and assume that this is reality. What might happen if you let go of this assumption? Is it possible that even though you feel like someone who is meditating, that you are not? All of the sensations that appear to add up to your body are in themselves just sensations. The sensation of air moving in and out of your nose, the feeling of your hand resting on your knee, your feet on the floor, the sound in your ears are all just sensations. Release what you think you know about these sensations and just experience them as raw sensations. Maybe there is no one meditating in a body. Just experience happening. Sensations arising in your consciousness. Allow yourself to just be meditation and not meditate as someone. Let go and simply be the awareness that perceives each sensation as it arises. You are simply the passing of sensation arising and falling away, arising and falling away. Sense into this fluidity of beingness, this open awareness and availability to the cosmos. Sense the blurring of the boundary between reason and magic, between what's possible and what's not possible. Sense into the fullness, the overflowing availability of the possible. Sense into the cosmos as a magical place of love, expressing freely beyond any limits of physical law, limiting beliefs, or even time and space. Rest in this expansiveness as pure awareness. Rumi says, "The work of magic is this, that it breathes and at every breath transforms realities." You are a divine flow-through space, a God portal, open to this magical expression of love flowing through you into a world ready to be surprised by joy. Take another breath, breathing in the gratitude, the peace, the ease, and grace of this fullness of expression. And always remember, you're magical, for this is the way it really is.
I will remember that I'm magical, and I want each and every one of us to remember we are magical. As soon as we tap into the Christ presence that's already there, just allow it to be. You don't have to work for it. It's already there. Thank each and every one of you for joining us. And if this message, meditation, or even the music has touched you in any kind of way, I invite you to share it with somebody and let them be touched as well. Hopefully it can be benefit. Also, I'm inviting you to pray with and for us so that we can share this message more and more with other people. And also, I'm inviting you to join us right after this service for a special fellowship time. And you can go on a website and register and check out the instructions in the comment section. And what we're doing here is just creating a consciousness of infinite possibility that's ours to have and to collaborate with and work together as we rise up in a vibration, rise up in consciousness that is part of the universal plan for us to rise up. So as we partner with each one of you and partner with the universe, we're looking to expand. So if you don't mind contributing, you can do that via text or go on the website. There are multiple ways in which you can contribute, and just want you to know whatever you do, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And as we step into this Christmas season, as we step into elevating our Christ consciousness, our prayer for protection takes on a very potent meaning. We want to say it for ourselves, say it for our families, say it for the United States of America, and more importantly, let's say it for the world. Together, as it comes up on the screen, let's say, the light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is there, and all is well. God bless you. Merry Christmas.
Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo.